Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sven Stegemann. I'm from Capsule, and I'm pretty sure you expect a promotional marketing presentation, but I have to disappoint you very much because I'm not going to do it. I will try to give you a little bit the insight into what is going on the market, how we see it, and what this also means for the pharma industry and how we can gain opportunities based on this one. Oh, so I need now to figure out how to do it. Okay. So there is a very famous man, Mr. Naisbitt, who is a futurologist, and he came up with one very simple statement. The most reliable way to anticipate the future is by understanding the present. That's something what I have to tell you is very few people to understand what's going on. So basically, the present doesn't mean this present, the present means what is going on today. You always see the news, and I think the pharma industry is very transparent, and you see always, what is going on. And what you see here is that our return on investment in R&D is really fading away. You see also that our revenues across all the industry is really coming from emerging markets. It's no longer the mature markets we are normally targeting. And the companies have double-digit growth. On the other hand, what is nice to see, as soon as you see a growth in emerging markets, they are reacting a little bit different, like the Western world or US. Governments simply stop paying. They just fix the price and they reduce it by law. And they continue, which basically means that they fix a price which is normally below our expectations. They also fix a price for innovative medicines, medicines under patent protection. And they clearly say, that's the price and it will not further raise. Or even in Australia, they cut by 80%. So everywhere in the world now, cost containment is becoming a reality for our healthcare environment. In Sri Lanka as well. And they even consider, and that's quite interesting, to transfer manufacturing and technologies into the emerging markets to save money. And there's a very famous guy, Andrew Whitty, who clearly said that the 25-year-old business model needs to be challenged. And there's another guy who said he's right. So let's try to understand a little bit the present. When we look backwards the last 20 years, you will figure out, or you will find out, that we developed nearly 600 new chemical entities, new products in the pharmaceutical area. We set really first-in-class therapeutics. So we have done a fundamental and tremendous good job. We made effective therapies available for all the simple diseases like high blood pressure, for example. We can control very well today, even across different patient populations. And we understand the biology behind, that we are going more to personalized treatments. We can identify the responders very easily. When we look to the emerging markets, there are the WHO, they classify this into really the low expenditure market, the rapid growth health economies, and the mature markets. What is important if you look to the population we are talking about? The Earth has a population of 7 billion people, but only 1 billion have free access to drugs. 6 billion people have only limited access to drug products, which basically means if you just look into the far emerging markets, the markets who are growing, where peace came in over the last years and the economy is now growing, we'll see that we have 3 times the population of what we are serving today, and that is the opportunity. On the other hand, we are all getting older and we are facing the demographic change, so aging population. And this applies to mature markets, but also to emerging markets. Don't think that the one-child Chinese policy created a lot of young people. They created a huge bubble of aging people. Unfortunately, this group, the patient population who is beyond 65, is the most difficult and most heterogeneous one. The one for which we need really to have a better treatment. And this will increase the need for individualized therapies. Individualized therapies in the sense of look into geriatric aspects, that are the clinical aspects in older people, but also the gerontological aspects, which means the limitation and the capabilities of this patient. So the majority of our drug products are dedicated to an aging population, to people beyond 65 or even 75. The most important and fundamental change is not that the people are older, but they are older. We see a tremendous number of extremely high-aged people. So in general, we are talking in the mature markets about nearly 5 times more people in the 90s and beyond. And in the emerging markets, it's nearly 10 times. So the real problem is not the one who's 65 and well healthy. The real problem is the one who's aging beyond 85 and 90, and this will reflect about 40 million people in 2050. And we are already today having 30 to 50% of our drugs dedicated to a patient population beyond 65, and if we are doubling, we can imagine that this will even go much higher. So what will be the landscape of future healthcare system? We have the traditional role of the pharma industry to develop new products. Our challenges are R&D efficiency, manufacturing costs, reimbursement declines, and so forth. On the other side, we have the society, and the society is setting clear targets as well. In the society, we have an aging population. We see the increasing healthcare costs and needs and demands, but also coming from the emerging markets, because they also want to have access to medicines. So the future will be somewhere in between. It's not enough to just give a good product. You need to have a healthcare solution for patient populations. Moreover, you might have heard this, even the authorities are talking from moving from efficacy to effectiveness. And effectiveness is an expression which means what is happening with the product in the real market, outside the randomized patient population. And there you will see a lot of surprises how people and patients use the drugs. So let's anticipate the future and let's go into the patient populations. This is the real world. This is what we see. There's no randomization. We have many different types of people, many different characters. You know that recently, about 3-4 years ago, we are talking about the pediatrics and the PIP, the Pediatric Investigational Plan, where authorities really looked into this specific patient population, which was quite neglected. But now we are looking also to the elderly, because they are neglected as well in all our trials. And the EMA has set forward a roadmap to 2015 on geriatric medicines. And there was a big workshop in March in London, which you can also check on the EMA website. You can download all the presentations. So, what are the problems in terms of the aging population? This is quite a heterogeneous patient population, and we are facing polypharmacy. We are facing a lot of gerontological problems in terms of cognitive, visual impairments, dexterity, manual adherence, swallowing is becoming a problem. If you are interested, we have founded a society. Membership is free. We are a network of many disciplines, including doctors, pharma industry, regulators, healthcare providers, and so forth. Just look to the visual impairments. if you're beyond 75, you find at least 1/4 of the patient population who is considered blind according to the different definitions. And here are a number of huge studies who are clearly showing you that visual impairments are really a problem. Now, if you try to simulate what a patient sees, that's what a patient will see. So in front there are medications he, she has to take. In reality, you have two types of products. You have a capsule, which is colored, and you have a white tablet. Do not underestimate how difficult it is to distinguish products who are all round white in nature. Swallowing issues are much more severe than we thought. Yeah, just some studies where really the swallowing of medications were investigated. So here, first of all, you know, if you go to primary care, so they are not the ones who are in hospital. These are the ones who are living freely, openly, independently. And you see that 27% have signs of dysphagia, swallowing issues, serious malignant swallowing issues. And 6%, 7% have aspiration that goes into the lung and follows up as a pneumonia. What are they doing to circumvent it? They either crush the tablets or they omit to take the tablets. Now, I don't know how many of you are from quality assurance, but I would like to know if you would feel comfortable if a patient would crush your tablet. And that this is a reality, you just need to search on the internet on tablet crushers. There are 66 different models. There are high-level models, easier ones, cheaper ones, but they are not there because somebody likes it, because there is a market. That's why they are there. On the other hand, there is a very good technology known, the sprinkles, and several products now come on the market for using the sprinkle technologies, which are small multi-particulates which you can either sprinkle on food or in drinks to apply. So you don't need to swallow the capsule, you can put them on food if needed and swallow them. And we have here, for example, that's a Parkinson drug, and Parkinson is also very well known to cause swallowing issues. There are also some very good case studies, and if you go into it, there are nice publications about a product called dexlansoprazole, where they specifically did really individualized medicines. They had a dual release. They had a release which is past the stomach, so immediately in the duodenum, followed by a longer release version in the further intestine. The thing is that this leads to once a day treatment, and you have the sprinkle option. You can open the capsule and pour it on food, and it has no pre or postprandial effect, so you can take it either before or after dinner. And this is specifically also announced in the patient information sheet that you can do so. So, why are we looking into patient centricity? Whenever I say, you know, we can make our products better, I hear, yeah, but nobody's reimbursing it. It costs so much money and nobody will pay us. One thing is very clear, we need to enhance the adherence. The adherence is something which is extremely bad, and we just published this in the European Geriatric Medicine Journal. Just to improve the adherence has a greater impact than any new medicinal product. That was a summary which was done by the WHO. That's a huge report that you should take a look at, because finally, when we improve adherence, we reduce costs. And that's what we are also trying to do in the Geriatric Medicine Society, is to demonstrate the cost savings by better patient-centric products. We'll also have a 2 days workshop on Saturday and Sunday this week, during the AAPS, where we just focus on patient centricity, what it means, what we can do, and what we have to do. Manufacturing efficiency, something, you know, whenever you go in a company and ask for manufacturing costs, everybody tells you, yeah, we know, very, very precisely. And then you ask for more data and information, and then nobody can give you. That's quite normal, because we don't understand our manufacturing costs. And the APV did a very nice study where they asked the industry, and the industry said, yes, you are right, we do not understand our cost structure. Now, what is a cost structure? What are the elements contributing to manufacturing costs? There are plenty of things which are indirect cost, like the GMP space, like the energy we need, like QA controls, like operational planning, education, and so forth. And normally, these costs are handled very easy by the industry. Let's call it overhead. It's normal that you have overhead costs which are beyond 60%. 60% which you cannot really allocate, which basically means we do not understand our manufacturing. Recently, with the introduction of the ICH guidelines, the QA 910, we have the possibility to go to complete new manufacturing. From the batch-based process, you know, over the last years we did lean manufacturing, so everybody was just in time, saving costs here and there. But we did not change the principles of a batch-based process. The next generation of manufacturing will be continuous manufacturing. Continuous manufacturing would just bring us to other industries who are doing it since years. But the reason for doing continuous manufacturing is the yield, the downtimes or the manufacturing times and cycles, which will dramatically improve. Now, if you look to what can we do, or how does manufacturing look like? And indeed, this is a promotional slide. What you see, if you go through a normal tablet manufacturing process, you will always see about 8 to 12 unit operations. Operations where you do something to the product. If somebody tells me that unit operation is free of charge, I'm happy to discuss. Now compare a normal tablet manufacturing with a standard capsule manufacturing, and then consider this goes into a continuous manufacturing. And continuous manufacturing of powder blend capsule filled is already a reality. You have very powerful PAT analytical tools to verify that the product is still correct. And this will improve significantly your cost structure. And by the way, when you are talking about generics, there's always a question, can I change a tablet to a capsule or a capsule to a tablet? The authorities are very clear on this. They consider all the immediate release formulation one and the same. They don't care if this is a tablet or a capsule, as long as it is immediate release. So you can come up with a different dosage form for your generic product. Now, how does it play if you go a little bit further down into the individualized medicines? How can we bring both together, an efficient manufacturing and a very patient-centric product? First of all, we have different types of capsules. So you have a variety of capsule materials which favor the one or the other formulation. So it is important that you select the right material. You have a variety of sizes, which allows you to really manufacture from a very low dose up to 800 milligram, 1 gram product, selecting the right capsules. More important is that to differentiate your product, to make it easily identifiable. We have more than 6,000 color combinations, color shades. You can even make more. And imprints give a very important message on the product in terms of dose, in terms of product that you can print on the capsule. So you don't need to care about coloring or printing, because this is already coming with the capsules. So in a conclusion, the healthcare market is undergoing really a significant change. But thanks to this dynamics, we see suddenly innovations coming through which were never considered 10 years ago. Increasing the adherence and therapeutic outcome will be key. Provision of affordable medicines, as well as moving from efficacy to effectiveness. Manufacturing efficiency and patient-centric drug products will play a key role in your success and in the provision of healthcare to the emerging markets. Now, very often, when I present, they say, yeah, but, the pharma industry is very conservative. Might be true. But there was also the New York Times in October 9, 1903, who commented on flying machines, that it will take 1 million to 10 million years to make it happen, right? So there were some crazy guys called Mr. Orwell Wright. And he said, we are starting assembly. And this was just on the same day. And believe it or not, on December 17th, they were flying. So we should not be afraid of entering into new manufacturing environment. It is possible, if we want and we have to really address the future needs of the pharmaceutical and healthcare environment. Thank you.